Have you ever noticed how, the moment we find ourselves waiting in line, at a coffee shop, the grocery store, or even at a red light, our hands instinctively reach for our phones? It's almost automatic, as if we're allergic to even a few seconds of stillness. We fill every empty moment with digital noise, scrolling through endless feeds, checking notifications, swiping between apps. Our devices have become our go-to companions, always ready to entertain, distract, or inform us, no matter how brief the pause in our day. This isn't just about passing time anymore. It's become a reflex, a knee-jerk reaction to the slightest hint of boredom. The moment we sense a lull, we reach for stimulation, almost without thinking. We rush to fill any gap in our day, as if silence or stillness is a problem that needs to be solved. The idea of simply waiting, of being present with nothing to do, feels foreign, maybe even uncomfortable. The content itself doesn't really matter. What matters is that we're doing something, anything to fill the space. We scroll not out of curiosity but out of habit, chasing a fleeting sense of engagement. We've become so accustomed to constant stimulation that quiet moments can feel almost unbearable. Restlessness creeps in and we look for any way to escape it. Our culture reinforces this urge. The world tells us that if we're not busy, we're not useful. Productivity is the gold standard, and any pause is seen as a sign of laziness or wasted potential. We glorify hustle and constant activity, while idleness is met with guilt or anxiety. Even when we try to rest, we feel the pressure to be doing something worthwhile. This pressure keeps us tethered to our devices, always searching for the next distraction, the next update, the next thing to occupy our minds. Even when surrounded by others, we retreat into our screens. But by constantly avoiding boredom, we're missing out on something valuable, something that can only be found in those quiet, unoccupied moments. Our brains need downtime to wander, to connect ideas, to reflect and process. It's in these moments of stillness that creativity is born, that insights emerge, and that we truly get to know ourselves. By filling every moment with noise and distraction, we deny ourselves the space for deep thought and genuine rest. We become overwhelmed yet strangely unfulfilled. We trade the potential for creativity, self-discovery, and meaningful connection for the fleeting satisfaction of another notification, another like, another scroll. What if instead we allowed ourselves to just be, even for a moment? What if we embraced the discomfort of stillness and discovered what lies on the other side? In those quiet spaces, our best ideas can finally breathe, and we can reconnect with ourselves in ways that constant stimulation never allows. Why are we so afraid of being bored? When we're not distracted, we're left alone with our thoughts, sometimes uncomfortable ones. It's easier to dive into someone else's life online than to sit with our own feelings. Our culture glorifies busyness. A packed schedule is a badge of honor. Boredom feels like failure, as if an empty moment means an empty life. Even children are taught to avoid boredom, their days filled with activities and screens. We grow up unpracticed at generating our own thoughts, always consuming, never creating. The result? We lose touch with ourselves. When we're always reacting, we rarely check in with how we really feel. By running from boredom, we're running from self-reflection, the foundation of personal growth. Sometimes, the most important questions only surface in stillness. What happens in our brains when we're bored? Scientists have found that boredom activates the default mode network, our brain's autopilot. This network lights up when we stop focusing and let our minds drift. It's responsible for connecting ideas, retrieving memories, and imagining possibilities. Mind wandering, often dismissed as wasted time, is actually crucial for creativity. Those aha moments rarely come when we're forcing focus. They arrive when we step away. By avoiding boredom, we suppress our brain's natural creativity. Constant stimulation keeps us in task mode, blocking deeper insights. To unlock our full potential, we need both focus and unstructured, bored time. Sometimes doing nothing is exactly what our minds need. Think of your mind as a library. When you focus, you're reading one book. When you let your mind wander, the librarian explores the whole library. The default mode network makes creative leaps, connecting distant ideas. That's why a walk in the park can solve a problem you couldn't crack at your desk. This mental playground is where innovation happens, when we're not trying too hard. It's also where we plan our futures, replay memories, and imagine new paths. Embracing boredom opens the gates to this inner world. Our obsession with constant focus undervalues this powerful state. True insight often comes when we look away, not when we stare harder. By learning to be bored, we tap into a deeper, more creative way of thinking. History is full of breakthroughs born from boredom. When our minds are unoccupied, they begin to wander, making unexpected connections and sparking new ideas. In these quiet moments, the seeds of innovation are often planted, waiting for the right conditions to grow. Isaac Newton's theory of gravity began with quiet observation in a garden, not a busy lab. It was during a period of enforced solitude, away from the distractions of daily life, that he noticed the simple fall of an apple, an ordinary event that led to an extraordinary insight. Composer Tchaikovsky found inspiration on long, solitary walks, letting his mind wander. These walks weren't just a break from work, they were the fertile ground where melodies and symphonies began to take shape, nurtured by the gentle rhythm of his footsteps and the quiet of nature. J.K. Rowling dreamed up Harry Potter while stuck on a delayed train, with nothing to do but think. With no distractions, her imagination was free to roam, conjuring up a world of magic and adventure that would captivate millions. These moments of enforced idleness gave their imaginations space to roam. When we're not busy, our minds can drift, explore, and invent, often in ways we never expect. Our best ideas often emerge in the quiet spaces between our busy lives. It's in these pauses, when we're not focused on a task, that creativity has room to breathe and flourish. Showering, driving, waiting, these are the moments when creativity strikes. The mind, freed from constant stimulation, begins to play, to imagine, and to solve problems in unexpected ways. Boredom isn't an enemy. It's a powerful ally for artists, scientists, and innovators. It's the quiet before the storm of inspiration, the pause that allows new thoughts to surface and take shape. By understanding this, we can see boredom as a creative state, not a void. It's a space where the mind can reset, reflect, and recharge, ready to tackle challenges with fresh perspective. The next time you're bored, remember, your mind is quietly working behind the scenes. You might be on the verge of your own breakthrough, just waiting for that spark of inspiration to ignite. Let your mind wander. You never know what you'll discover. Sometimes, the greatest ideas come when we least expect them, in the stillness of a quiet moment. Boredom is a secret weapon, available to all of us. It's a hidden source of creativity, waiting to be tapped whenever we allow ourselves a moment of stillness. All it takes is a little stillness. Embrace boredom, and you might just find your next big idea waiting in the quiet. Boredom isn't just for creativity, it's a path to self-discovery. When we stop consuming and turn inward, we finally hear our own thoughts. In silence, we notice what truly matters beneath the daily noise. Maybe a quiet afternoon reveals a hidden dissatisfaction or a new desire. Boredom prompts us to ask important questions and listen to our intuition. Sitting with our feelings, even the uncomfortable ones, helps us understand and manage them. This process builds a stronger sense of identity and purpose. Boredom isn't emptiness. It's fertile ground for personal growth. In stillness, we begin the journey to truly know ourselves. Learning to be bored is a skill, one you can practice. Start by noticing your habits. Do you reach for your phone at every pause? Awareness is the first step to change. Next, create small pockets of intentional boredom. Leave your phone in your pocket while waiting in line. Just observe your surroundings. Designate no device zones, like the dinner table or the first half hour after waking. Try a boredom walk. No music, no podcasts, just you and your thoughts. Be patient. It takes time to unlearn the craving for constant stimulation. Some days will be easier than others, and that's okay. The goal isn't perfect zen, but to reintroduce quiet moments into your life. Remember, doing nothing can be the most productive thing you do. Give your mind space to wander. You might be surprised by what you find. To embrace boredom, make conscious choices to unplug. Schedule tech-free time, an hour each evening or a few hours on the weekend. Let others know you'll be unavailable and give yourself permission to be present. Change your environment. Keep devices out of reach to reduce temptation. Try simple, repetitive activities, washing dishes, folding laundry, gardening. These tasks free your mind to drift and spark new ideas. Seek out natural stillness. Watch the clouds, listen to the wind, sit quietly in a park. These moments calm your mind and open the door to creativity. By seeking quiet pauses, you cultivate a richer inner life. Sometimes, the best ideas come when you're simply doing nothing. We've been taught to see boredom as a problem, something to be avoided at all costs. But what if we've misunderstood it all along? Boredom is actually a gift, quietly waiting for us to notice its value. When we allow ourselves to sit with boredom, we discover its fertile ground for creativity, insight, and self-awareness. It's in these quiet moments that our minds are free to wander, to imagine, and to connect ideas in new ways. By constantly running from boredom, reaching for our phones, filling every silence with noise, we silence the part of our brain that solves problems and dreams big. We block the door to our own imagination. We also miss the chance to connect with our true selves, to listen to the quiet voice inside that tells us what we really want and need. The cost of avoiding boredom is losing what makes life meaningful. Those moments of reflection, discovery, and growth that only come when we pause. Let's make boredom our friend, a gentle companion that encourages us to slow down, breathe, and listen. In the stillness, we can hear our own thoughts and dreams more clearly. We don't need to abandon technology completely. Instead, we can create balance, choosing moments to disconnect and be present with ourselves and others. Choose to put your phone away for a while, take a quiet walk in nature, or simply sit in silence and notice your surroundings. Allow yourself to just be, without needing to do or achieve anything. Let your mind rest and wander. Next time boredom calls, don't rush to fill the space. Pause, breathe, and see what happens when you give yourself permission to be still. You might solve a problem that's been bothering you, have a brilliant idea, or simply feel more at peace with yourself. You may even learn something new about yourself, or rediscover a forgotten passion or memory. Embrace the gift of nothing. Welcome the quiet, and let it nourish your mind and spirit. You may be surprised by what you find in the stillness, new ideas, deeper understanding, or simply a sense of calm you didn't know you needed.